Okay, one last quick technique for you to play around for with the next few days before we start doing some other stuff is the sharpening technique or tool. Go ahead and open a file, and every image that you work with you should sharpen. The reason being is that while the digital camera or image you scanned is a great image, it's still in pixels, and sharpening just makes it less fuzzy is about the right thing. If you do too much sharpening, it's real obvious. If you don't, so it's just kind of it's kind of a finesse that you have to work and figure out. Once again, I'm going to do a save as and change this to Photoshop. And I already have one there. I'm replacing it. So go to the enhance, and this is where it gets tricky. There is adjust sharpness, but to sharpen an image, you want to use what's called the unsharp mask, and it doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to pick a place other than my nostril. Like I'm going to go over to my ear, and this will allow you to do that. So there's the top of my ear. And you come out and it's set at what was done the last time. So if you were to have this normally, if you're opening it for the first time, it's going to be around 50%, and you're going to have this down at 1, and your threshold is going to be at 0, and that is not doing much sharpening. Make sure preview is clicked, and what I recommend doing is pushing this amount up to as high as 100%, maybe 107. If you go all the way up, you can see it's getting sharper, but you're getting a lot of noise, and it looks like amoebas. So if you come back, and you want to keep coming back until it's starting to look okay, and that's a lot of times somewhere around 100. Or you can go all the way down and start pushing it up, and you're going to see a little stuff, but you keep going until you're like, that's too much. And so somewhere right around 100 seems to be my magic spot for me. Then you set your radius. If you go all the way up, you see the preview on the side there too, it doesn't look good at all. That's too far. So usually the radius is going to be something in the neighborhood of 1, maybe a little more. You don't want to do too much. And you can click and unclick the preview, and you can really see, especially up here in the hair, it's starting to get sharper. And I'll do that, pull that there too. If I look at the main image here, I'm going to take the preview off. Got fuzzy, got a little sharper. Now the last thing you're going to adjust is the threshold, and bump that up. Start at about 3 or 4 and see what happens. And this just allows you a little magnified view, see if it works. If you go too much, you might not notice what's happening with the threshold too much depending on where it's at. So, but a good safe threshold is usually down kind of low, not much more than 7. So, that's the sharp, unsharp mask. Really, what you're using is the unsharp mask to sharpen things. So, click OK, and your changes are saved. And if you want to give it a quick compare to the original, we can go to the JPEG, and it's a soft difference. Here's the JPEG, here's the sharpened one, but it's a little bit noticeable, especially when fine detail like the hair stands out a little more. And I didn't even check the shirt to see what the shirt looked like, but that looks like it's a little bit better too. So practice with this one. I'm going to do one more tutorial that combines them all, and that will be it for the day.